The last important property of nucleus is the electric quadrupole moment of the nucleus. So the electric quadrupole moment of nucleus, it is generally denoted by capital Q, and this quantity, it defines or it measures the deformity of nucleus or the shape of nucleus from its spherical symmetry. That is how much the nucleus it is deformed, because basically what we assume in nuclear physics is that nucleus is almost spherical in shape, but in real the nucleus is not a spherical body, but is slightly, it can be different or it can be deformed from its spherical shape. So this quantity, electric quadrupole moment, it will measure the deformity of the nucleus or the shape of nucleus from its spherical shape, and it is generally denoted by capital Q. If the value of capital Q is equal to 0, if capital Q is equal to 0, it means that the nucleus is spherical in shape, is exactly spherical in shape. And if there is other finite value of Q, then it means that it is non-spherical. So if the value of capital Q, it comes out to be positive, then the shape of the nucleus is said to be prolate. So Q is positive, so the shape is said to be prolate. And if capital Q value, it comes out to be negative, then the shape of nucleus is called as oblate shape. So now we want to find what is the expression of the electric quadrupole moment. Now this shape, prolate shape, is also called as egg shape. Means the nucleus, the shape of the nucleus is in this manner. The charge, this is the central axis which will pass from the center of the nucleus, and the charge of the nucleus is stretched along a particular axis. So you can clearly see that the nucleus is not spherical in shape. So I will draw it more clearly. So this is the axis around which the nucleus is rotating. That is, the spin of the nucleus is in this particular direction, and the charge of the nucleus is not a spherical symmetry, but it is stretched along the axis, where if we take this as the z axis, the spin axis, then the charge of the nucleus is stretched along the z axis. So this shape is called as prolate shape. And if the charge is stretched in the opposite direction in this manner, that is, spin is along z axis and the charge is stretched along the perpendicular axis, then this shape is called as oblate. So now the main task of this article is to find the expression for electric quadrupole moment for the case of nucleus. So we know that the Q will come finite only when there is a deformity in the shape of the charged body. So we take any charged body and it is in a random shape. So we have taken a random shape of this charge distribution. So let's say rho is the volume charge density. Rho is the volume charge density of this charge distribution. So now we are taking a particular point capital P, where we will be finding, this is the observation point capital P, and here we will be finding the potential due to this whole charge distribution, which is non-symmetrical. This whole charge distribution drawn over here is deformed, and the potential due to this charge distribution will be found at point capital P. So rho is the volume charge density, and we are taking a particular point inside this charge distribution, and let's say this point, it is at a distance of small r. The position vector is small r vector in this direction. This is a particular volume which is taken inside the charge distribution, and let's say the volume of this charge distribution taken over here is d tau. This is the volume element. This is the small volume element. So that is, we are taking a volume which is shown over here, and the position vector of this volume d tau from the origin is given by small r vector, and the position vector or the distance of this d tau from the capital P point, which is the observation point. Let's say this position vector is r naught vector, and the position vector of capital P from the origin, this whole distance, this is r vector. So now we have over here a triangle. The direction of all the vectors are shown over here. So we can simply say that small r vector plus capital R naught vector, this will be equal to capital R vector. So to find the total potential at point capital P due to the whole charge distribution, so first of all we will be finding the potential due to this small volume element. That is the potential due to the charge which is present in this small volume element, because charge is distributed on this whole system, and this d tau will have a particular charge in it, and there will be a particular potential due to this charge at this particular point, which is at a distance of r naught. So that potential due to this charge, particular small charge which is present inside d tau, the potential due to this particular point at point capital P, let's say this is given by d phi. This is the potential due to this small charged body, that is small volume element. This will be given by Coulomb's law, which is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught times charge divided by its distance, that is charge divided by distance. Now the charge over here will be given by rho times d tau. This will be the charge which will be present inside this small volume element, and potential of this volume element at point capital P will be given by this formula and divided by the distance of the observation point from this volume element, which is given by r naught, the magnitude of r naught vector. So this will be the potential given by d phi. So rho is the volume charge density. So the charge inside this small volume will be rho times d tau. That is, volume charge density is the total charge, the charge which is present in a unit volume. So rho times d tau will give you the charge which is present in this small volume d tau. So this is given by first equation. Now the total potential at point capital P will be equal to phi, and this will be the integration of d phi, and this will be equal to, since over here on the right hand side also we will do the integration. So this will be the, since here we have the small volume element, so the integration on the right hand side will be over the whole volume. So we will have 3 integrations. So rho times d tau divided by r naught. So this will be the total potential at point capital P due to the whole charge distribution, because now we have done the integration over the dimensions of whole charge distribution. So this is the second equation. Now we will separate the components of this equation using this term, that is r vector plus r naught vector is equal to capital R vector. Now what we need in this equation is the expression for r naught. So from this particular equation, which is capital A equation, from this equation first of all we will find r naught vector, because we need the value of r naught in second equation. So from equation A we will get r naught vector will be equal to r vector minus small r vector. And now let's assume that the angle between r vector, capital R vector and small r vector. So in the diagram you can see this is the small r vector and this is the capital R vector. So let's say the angle between these two vectors is given by theta. So this is given by theta angle. Now we will multiply this equation with itself. So we will get r naught square will be equal to r vector minus small r vector dot product with r vector minus small r vector. That is, we are doing the dot product of this particular equation with itself. So on the left hand side we will get r naught vector dot r naught vector, that will be r naught square, and on the right hand side we will get this vector. So this will be equal to r square plus small r square minus 2 of r vector dot small r vector, and this we will simplify this dot product. This will be equal to 2 small r capital R times cos of angle between these two, and we have assumed the angle between these two vectors is theta. So this will be the value of r naught square, and taking the square on the opposite side will get converted into its square root. So this will be the value of r naught. Now what we need is the value of 1 by r naught. Here we have simply the expression for r naught, but in second equation what we need is 1 divided by r naught. So we will simply inverse this equation. So we will get from this equation 1 by r naught. This will be equal to 1 divided by the right hand side, and that will simplify to power minus 1 by 2. So this will be equal to r square plus small r square minus 2 r capital R cos theta. Since we are doing the reciprocal, so power will change from 1 by 2 to minus 1 by 2. Now we will be taking r square common from this bracket. We will take r square outside the bracket from all the terms, and that will be equal to, since we are taking r square, so if you take r square outside the bracket, so here we have minus 1 by 2. So outside the bracket r will become r power minus 1, that is r square power minus 1 by 2, that will be r power minus 1, that is 1 by capital R. So we are taking r square outside the bracket, so this will simplify to 1. First term will be 1 plus r square by capital R square, since we are taking r square common, minus 2r. Now we are taking r square common, so this will be 2r cos theta divided by simply capital R power minus 1 by 2. Now we will further expand this term. This whole term in the square bracket, we will expand it using the binomial theorem. Now binomial theorem will be used. Now binomial theorem says that if we have 1 plus x power n, there is 1 plus x. Now we have over here 1 plus x. Now x is these whole two terms. So if we have 1 plus x power n, and n over here is minus 1 by 2. So this is simplified to 1 plus nx plus n into n minus 1, then x square divided by 2 factorial, and so on. So we are using binomial theorem, where x over here is r square by capital R square minus 2r cos theta by capital R. These two terms are equal to small x, and n is equal to minus 1 by 2. So when you will put this value, this will be equal to 1 by capital R 1 minus 1 by 2 r square by capital R square minus 2r cos theta by capital R. So this will be the first term nx. So this is the first term n times x. Then the second term will be n into n minus 1 divided by 2 factorial, that will come out to be plus 3 by 8. Then x square, now x we have these whole terms, this will be r square by capital R square minus 2r cos theta by capital R whole square, and so on. So we do not need the further terms, because we just want electric quadrupole moment from this derivation. Now we will open this a plus b or a minus b whole square term. So on expanding, first of all we will expand this term. This will be minus r square by 2 capital R square, then this will be plus r cos theta by capital R. So this we have expanded. Then we have plus 3 by 8. Then we will expand this. This will be a square plus b square, which will be r power 4 over capital R power 4, plus it will be 4r square cos square theta by capital R square, and then there will be minus 2ab, and that will be equal to minus of 2a times b, which will be 4r cube cos theta divided by r cube, and then we will have further terms. Now we will be taking, we can see that we have a single term, that is it does not depend upon small r. Now we are looking at small r. Here we have a single term, this does not depend upon small r. Then we will be having a term which depends upon the first power of r. This is the first power of r, so this will be our second term. Then we will be having r square term. Now we have r square term, we have this, here we have small r square term, and then we have over here small r square term. So only these terms are of our concern. We want this factor, then second term, then third term, and then this term. Then small r cube and small r power 4, these will be the higher terms. So we want just these 4 terms. So this will be equal to 1 by capital R, 1 will be as it is. Then we have r power 1 term, which will be r cos theta divided by capital R. Then we will have r square term, that is small r square term. So that will be equal to, this is minus r square by 2 capital R square, and from here this term, that is small r square term, this will be simplified. Here we have outside the bracket is 3 by 8, so we will multiply this term, this will be equal to 3 by 2. So plus 3 by 2, then is r square cos square theta divided by capital R square. So all other terms except these 4 terms, all other terms, that is this term and this term, these will be consumed in the higher terms. So we have just expanded 1 by r naught in terms of power of small r. This is small r power 0, this is small r power 1, this term is r square, and this is also r square. So this can be further simplified, that is we can take r square outside. So this will be equal to 1 by capital R, 1 plus second term as it is. Then we will be taking r square term common, that is r square divided by capital R square. Small r square divided by capital R square term will be taken outside. This will be equal to 3 by 2 cos square theta minus 1 by 2 and the higher terms. So this is the expression of 1 by r naught. So in the last term we had 1 by r naught is equal to, there we had a right hand side where we had 1 by capital R outside the bracket. So in this step I have expanded, or I have taken 1 by capital R inside the bracket and have simplified to this. So the powers in the denominator will be now capital R, then capital R square and capital R cube, and so on. So this is the expression of 1 by r naught. Now what we were looking at is the expression for potential. Now potential at a particular observation point, it was equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integration of rho d tau divided by r naught. So here we have found, this is the third equation, here we have found the expression for 1 by capital R naught. So now we will introduce this whole term in this potential factor. So this will be equal to potential, this will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So the first term, or this will be rho times d tau times 1 by r naught, which is 1 by capital R plus r cos theta divided by r square plus r square divided by capital R cube 3 by 2 cos square theta minus 1 by 2, and so on. So you can simply write rho times d tau after this bracket, which means that this whole term is included within this integration. So this is the whole expression. Now we will simplify more. This can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Now we will just expand in terms of a single terms. That is, we will take rho d tau inside the bracket. So this will be equal to first term rho times d tau and divide by 1 by r. This will be the first term plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Then r cos theta divide by capital R square as it is times rho times d tau plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught integration. Then r square divided by capital R cube 3 by 2 cos square theta minus 1 by 2 times rho d tau, and we will have higher terms. So here we have expanded the potential at a particular observation point due to a non-spherical distribution or due to any charge distribution in terms of these values. So we know that this term is just the potential due to a charge distribution which is spherical in shape. So this is just the potential due to a charge distribution which is a spherical in shape. So that potential is equal to this value, and this is called as monopole. This is called as monopole, and this integration, this is called as dipole. And this term is called as, so this r square term, it can be taken outside. That is, this can be taken outside. This will be capital R over here, and this r square term will be taken outside, and it will be capital R square. And this r cube can also be taken outside, which is capital R cube, because we knew that in the diagram that we have drawn, this was a charge distribution and this was the observation point, particular volume element, and this was the observation point, and this point capital P, the distance of this capital P point from the origin was capital R. So capital R is independent of the integration, so this will remain always a constant value. So R can be taken outside. So I have taken capital R, here I have taken r square term outside, and here capital R cube term, and this term is called as quadrupole. This is called as quadrupole moment. This is the monopole moment. This whole integration term is the monopole moment, that is equal to the total charge, that is rho times d tau integration. This will give you total charge on the whole charge distribution. So this is called as monopole moment, and this term in the integration is called as dipole moment, and this term inside the integration or with the integration, this whole term, this is called as quadrupole moment of the charge distribution. So this quadrupole moment Q, in case of nuclear physics, it is customary to define quadrupole moment in terms of area, or you can say that it is customary in nuclear physics to define quadrupole moment and eliminating the dimensions of charge. Eliminating the dimensions of charge. So usually in nuclear physics, the dimensions of charge are eliminated. Now the quadrupole moment over here, we can write it as integration of r square. Now 2, this is a constant and it is common in both the terms. So this can also be consumed in the constant which is outside the bracket. So this can also be taken outside. So the quadrupole moment will be simply r square times 3 cos square theta minus 1 times rho d tau. It will remain as it is. So in nuclear physics, it is quite customary to eliminate the dimensions of charge. Now we have over here charge, which is rho times d tau. This will give us the charge. So here in this quantity, there will be the units of charge, and we will have units of r. Since r is the distance, so we have distance square. So here this r square term will give us the units of area. So this will give us units of area and this will give us the units of charge. So in nuclear physics, we usually eliminate the dimensions of charge. So here how we will eliminate the dimensions of charge? By dividing this term by small e. So we are dividing this whole term by small e, and now this term is called as the exact quadrupole moment of the nucleus. Quadrupole moment of nucleus. Now in the diagram that we had drawn, this diagram, this d tau volume element, its distance from origin was small r and its angle was theta. So this point, it will have its projection on the z axis and that will be perpendicular to the z axis. So this length will be small z and this was the z axis. So therefore this projection of this small r on the z axis will be equal to small z, and this angle between small r and capital R was already taken as theta. So in this right angle triangle, we can say that cos theta will be equal to, cos theta is base upon hypotenuse and base is equal to small z divided by its hypotenuse. So we can replace this cos theta by z by small r. So we can further write it as 1 by e integration of r square times 3 times this will be equal to z square divided by r square. So we are putting the value of cos theta, which is z by r. So this will be 3 times z square divided by r square minus 1 times rho d tau. So you can further simplify by opening this round bracket. This will be equal to 1 by e integration. So we are taking r square inside the bracket. So this will be simply equal to 3z square minus r square times rho d tau. So this is the electric quadrupole moment for the case of nucleus. So now z axis is the axis of the nucleus, that is the spin of the nucleus is along the z axis. So this is the electric quadrupole moment. Now when the charge distribution which we took over here, if this charge distribution is spherically symmetric, if this is spherically symmetric, so in that case, means it is a spherical body, that is the nucleus, it is exactly spherical in shape. So in that case, the x square, the average of x square, that will be equal to the average of y square, and that will be equal to the average of z square. Since x, y and z, these are the coordinates of a particular point inside the nucleus. So this will be average of x square will be equal to average of y square, and this will be equal to average of z square. So in the case of spherical symmetry, this is the case, and this is further equal to small r square divided by 3, because we know that r square, that is equal to x square plus y square plus z square, and expectation of r square will also be equal to the sum of the expectation of the square of x square, y square and z square. So if x square average is equal to y square average is equal to z square average, so on using this equation, we will get that these 3 terms will be equal to the average of r square divided by 3. So for spherically symmetry, this is the case, means z square expectation, it will be equal to r square divided by 3. So when you put this value, that is z square is equal to r square divided by 3. So when you will put over here z square is equal to r square divided by 3, so you will get over here 3 will cancel with the denominator 3 and you will get simply r square minus r square, and in that case q will be equal to 0. That is, the electric quadrupole moment is 0 for the case of the charge distribution which is spherically symmetric. Now if the shape of the nucleus is prolate, if the shape of nucleus is prolate, means the axis of the nucleus is z-axis and the charge is also stretched along the z-axis, which means that z square, here we had z square is equal to r square divided by 3. Here we will have z square greater than r square divided by 3, because now the charge is distributed more along the z-axis. So expectation of the z square or the average value of z square will be greater than r square divided by 3. So in this case, if z square is greater than r square divided by 3, so in that case quadrupole moment, this will come out to be positive. So in this expression, if you put this value, so you will simply see that quadrupole moment q, that will come out to be positive. So on contrary, the oblate shape of the nucleus, since the oblate shape is in this manner, that is, this is the z-axis, the spin of the nucleus, and the charge is stretched in the perpendicular direction. So in this case, z square will be less than r square divided by 3, and hence since the charge distributed is more along the perpendicular direction as compared to the z direction, so z square average will be less than r square divided by 3, and hence in this case, using this quadrupole moment equation, we will get q will be negative. So q is negative for the shape which is shown over here, that is the oblate shape, and q is positive for a shape which is shown, which is the prolate shape. And for spherical symmetry body, that is a spherical symmetric nucleus, the quadrupole moment comes out to be equal to